and welcome to That Squirrel Speaks. Today is Monday, March 25th, and this is episode 50 something. Hi, how are you? Don't be afraid, it's still the same show. I still live in the same place. If this is a new viewer, this is not what it normally looks like. My husband is home because we got so much snow today. And, okay. By the way, I look like a hot mess. I know. I'm still sick, okay? I'm actually not sick. I'm fine. I'm just indulging myself, quite frankly. Excuse me. But my husband is home today because it snowed. And as I was explaining to him when he was like, why are you carrying all that stuff upstairs? It's one thing to... Look, there's like thread on my hair from sewing so much. I mean, my hat. It's one thing to like talk to the computer when you're by yourself. Like, that's fine because there's nobody there. But when you're like talking to the computer and like talking about weird things and doing, and there's like somebody that's literally just like 20 feet away from you, it's kind of weird. That's all there is to it. It's weird and not the best way. So today we're on location in my daughter's room because she's in Mammal and Pebbles because it's spring break. Because clearly we always get 7 inches of snow while we're on spring break. And Annie is right here. Annie. So if you see me petting somebody, it's a real dog. Sorry. So yeah, so sorry for weirdness. Whatever. You're on location. It's fancy. I'm sorry. I can't edit out all the coughing. I will try to keep it at a minimum. I had a lozenge, but then it was clicking against my teeth as I talked, which I'm assuming is even more obnoxious than the coughing. I have a giant pile of like junk over here to go through. And the lighting is weird and I'm like, so apologies are there. But it's me and I'm here and recording. Yay! So, first off, I have thank yous. Annie says thank you too. I have thank yous for Carolyn and Diane. They donated their real life hard-earned dollars to the show. Thanks, ladies. I have other thank yous too because some of you are so cute. You sent me things because I was sick. Some of you just sent me things because you didn't know I was sick. But then one of you sent me something because I was sick. Isn't that cute? You're so cute, people. But I have the lovely ladies at Friends in Fiber sent me a fiber pack. And I'll tell you about that next week because I have so much to talk about this week. This show's going to be like 800 years long. Plus, I went to get it and gather it up and tell you about it and then realized I couldn't remember what the letter said. Because it told me about it, and then I just realized I couldn't think of it, and then I could not bring myself to read. Because quite frankly, I was afraid I would read it and then get all confused and addle-minded again, because hello! And it would not be good. So, I'll do that next week. I'm so sorry. But I'll start with thank yous of that sort. Oh, Annie, don't be angry at me. I just want to say thank you. I got in the mail these lovely little stitch markers from Wee Ones Creations. And they're from Candy. I think you're Candyland. But I have to show you them because they're insane. Do you see that? You can't see it because I don't have autofocus. That is a tiny, like, polymer clay squirrel stitch marker. It's sculpted. It's not like in a mold. It's not. That is So after I was like, all like, who sent me these? The Candy confessed. And I was like, let me tell you. Okay, these are so cute. But you should totally go and look at this woman's stitch markers. If you like funny little stitch markers, she has a set of gnomes which are insanely cute. And they're all tiny and hand sculpted insanity style. Aren't they, Annie? They are. It's crazy. So you should totally check it out. I have one on my hat that I'm knitting, but I was afraid I would forget to tell you when I saw it. But they're crazy sauce. So thank you, Candy. Okay, so shenanigans. I really won't talk too much about shenanigans because again, this week is gonna be so long, and plus I was sick, so quite frankly, mucus shenanigans. But oh, I did want to tell you one thing. It was a shenanigan of the mind, which was actually taking place during an actual shenanigan in the world. So it was like a double shenanigan helix of awesometude. And you're gonna be like, that was a lot of build up for this completely anticlimactic story. Here we go. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot to say thank you. The last time I did an episode was when I talked about the bead in my kid's ear. If you need a laugh, you really have to go check out the thread for that show. If you're ever having a bad parenting moment, you need to go check out the thread. Because there are lots of wonderful, beautiful, not really bad parenting moments. Yay! And they're righteously funny and cute and sweet. And again, you're not alone. So hooray for that! So anyway, so thank you so much. So many great stories. Thank you. And we're very supportive of my parenting failure moment. Thank you. When I tell my stories and confess that I'm a bad parent, I don't mean that I know that I'm not actually a bad parent. When I say that I'm a bad parent, I mean that I don't fulfill all of my own parenting benchmarks. What do you call that? Basically, the limbo line of parenting I fail at frequently, but it is the limbo set by my own standards, and I know that I'm really not a bad parent, as I'm sure none of you are either. But it doesn't mean you can't feel like a bad parent when you're just like, oh, that was where I was supposed to be, and I'm down here. So anyway, but if you're feeling like one of those moments where you're not really a bad parent, but you are not living up to your own expectations, check out this research. Oh, but what is it? Oh, shenanigans of the mind. And of the real world. Annie, please don't hit the computer. There's a computer up there. Go over there. We went to the park the Saturday before I got actually sick. Because it was supposed to be 51 degrees, which I was all like, yeah, it'll be so warm. It was the coldest 51 degrees ever, for one thing. I don't even know what they were talking about. But, sorry, the lighting really is making me a little crazy. Whatever, it's okay. Okay. So we went to our Eagle Creek Park, which is it's like one of the biggest city parks in America, I think. It's not like actually in our city. It's on the outskirts of our city. But it's a very big city park, and it has an ornithology center and a nature center and lots of other good stuff. A reservoir, which my kid likes to throw rocks into. She could really do that for hours. I mean, literally. And sometimes when the weather is warm and there's a log to sit on, I let her. But this was not one of those times. So, see, I'm really not even on a medication anymore, but I'm just confused. So we go to the ornithology center. Okay, so we go to the ornithology center. The ornithology center is, I don't know how to explain it. Do you know what ornithology is? Ornithology is the study of birds. So it's a birding center. Like they have bird identification classes. They host like walks to do bird IDs, stuff like that. Sorry, I deleted the computer. So there's like stuff for kids. There's also like an observation room. There's 2 observation rooms. One is like a big that looks over the lake so you can look at the water birds, and it has like the giant crazy I guess they're considered telescopes because they're not really binoculars. They're like a binocular telescopic hybrid. There's probably a thing that's what it's called, but I don't know what it is. But it's not 2 noculars, just a monocular. I don't know, whatever. They're high-powered, focusy, up-close things. But then there's also like the actual like songbird observation, which is basically what was probably like a sun porch in the house that this was originally. But they have like a bunch of feeders set up and all that stuff outside, and you can just sit out there and chill and observe, which I love so much. I totally want one of those porches in my house. But anyway, so we sat out there for a long time. But then, and there's also like a room that has a bunch of taxidermied birds, which is weird, but cool. but a little weird. But they're all like in a natural environment, so you can like identify them. It's kind of strange, but whatever. It's cool. So we went out to but then like on the actual water, they have a rescue center, like they're certified or whatever to have rescued animals, birds, I guess specifically. So they had a little screech owl. Okay, by the way, did you know screech owls are so tiny? What's up with them? They're like this big. They're so cute. But this is the cool thing about owls, which I did not know, and this is a great reason to have a child, is because you learn random stuff that you would have never otherwise found out. That does not say you should go have children just for that purpose, but it's kind of a cool side benefit. Did you totally know that owls have asymmetrical ears? What? I mean, because nature loves symmetry, right? Like everything tends towards symmetry. But owls have this really cool thing where, and I can't remember, one of them is up in front and one of them is down and back, I think. But they're offset. And then the owl has this weird thing where they listen with their ears. As opposed to the rest of us. Whatever. They listen with their asymmetrical ears, and when the sounds become like equal in both of those ears, like there's like some weird crazy equalizer in their brain. I don't know how that works, but whatever. Then they know that their prey or whatever is making that specific sound is directly in front of them. So not only do they crazy good eyesight, but then they have like this weird like Inspector Gadget hearing, which lets them focus in on their prey. How cool is that? It is not, I did clarify, raptors don't have that. It is only owls. How cool is that? So those are the shenanigans of the mind and the real world, coinciding double helix of awesomeness. See, I told you it's so anticlimactic. Whatever. I apologize. Let's get into it. I have finished objects. Oh, I meant to count. I think I have 15 finished objects this week, but 12 of them are cheaty. Whatever, shush. First finished object, which is not blocked, but I am wearing, is my Twigs and Willows sweater by Alana Dacos in the Botanical Knits book. I totally dig it, yo. I will try to get a picture eventually. Maybe. Did I say that I haven't blocked it yet? I don't know, whatever. It's not blocked, but I think I'm totally gonna dig it. It's like a good length. The extra crazy long ribbing is awesome sauce. I almost for a moment put the thumb holes in and I was like, no! This is like not a casual, I mean, it is a casual sweater, but I don't think it's quite that casual. Okay. So yay, that's. I also have it's wearing all my FOs, except for some of them. So basically that statement was completely unnecessary and redundant. I think redundancy implies that there was information given twice and I gave you no information once. Whatever. This is the Shod hat by Laura Neal. And this was gifted to me by the designer. Thank you. I'm totally wearing it. It is written, it's a beanie. I mean, it's written like this. It's written like this. Which actually is totally cute. I will just wear it like this now. And it is made with hand spun. This is hand spun out of Spun Monkey in her 100% organic Polworth in the crab on its back colorway. That's it. The pattern calls for worsted. I think mine was more like an Aran, so I made mine smaller, but there's a very clear and concise way to do that in the pattern. So she tells you how to resize it basically, okay, because she's cool like that. And you can even wear it as this way, which is like slouchy-ish. This is what I've been doing. Or you wear it like it's supposed to be worn. Whatever. Or you can take it off and have really messy hair, but so that I don't mess with my hat all day. Maybe that's a good idea. So, I think that's that. That is that. My next 12 finished objects. I have 2 cousins, and they both decided to have babies, like literally within 1 week of each other. And I kind of didn't really think about it until it was very late in their pregnancies. One of them already has one other child, and the other one is having twins. So it's 3 babies within a week. They don't need anything. And I really struggled, and they're in Albuquerque, so it's not like it gets particularly wooleny there. So I really struggled with what to make them, or like if I should make them something, or if I should buy them something. Blah, 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 blah. You know the thing we all do. But with 3 babies, I was just like, dude, I'm totally not gonna be able to make 3 baby blankets. Or 3, like, because my mom's, why are you gonna make them stuffies? I'm like, So I struggled with what to do. I decided, I don't know for exactly why, but I decided that I would make them lots of miniature washcloths. And I think the reason I did that is because I actually still use those for my daughter. They, you can, when you have baby, they always give you those little terry, I guess they're considered terry cloth. Those little thin ones that are like yay big, but they're so thin, they just roll up and they're like completely useless and annoying. And I'm pretty sure secretly they just like get stuck in your washing machine and then probably break it. By the way, don't write me if you're from the coalition of tiny mass-produced washcloths, because nothing I say can be taken with any sincerity or truth. So I'm not really telling you that that's going to happen. So don't legally sue me or anything, people. Okay. Sorry, rant. Not even rant. Nonsensical word sounds. So I bought this. This is Nitpicks Dishy. And this is the Cottage Multicolorway. I bought 3 skeins because I had no idea how much I would need to make miniature washcloths. There's 3 babies, and I made... Okay, I kind of cheated. There's 13 of these. I kind of cheated. I made the 1 baby 5 and the 2 babies 8. I know, right? I'm a bad person. But really, I just feel like I've made 2 more. My brain might explode. So I made 13. Here they are. They're just with the grandmother's favorite dishcloth pattern. And by the way, I chose these colors because these are actually, my mom made quilts for them because she's a better person than I am. She made quilts for the babies and they're like very clear primaries. So I thought, well, not like rainbow, but like, I mean, I guess those are technically clear primaries. There's something like that. They're like she used like a retro Dick and Jane motif, and one of them wanted horses. So like basically they ended up all being this color for somehow, coincidentally so. So I made them washcloths, and then I'm getting them. I bought some from Etsy. I bought some fancy organic baby soap that's coming. So I'm just gonna like package them up with their fancy organic baby soap, and send them out. So I don't know. To make 13 of them, it took 1 skein, and plus I have this much left. So I could definitely make a few more. Don't just shush. I could. Maybe I will. But anyway, so there they are. They're very squishy. I have no idea about how this yarn is durability wise. And when I got it, I'll be honest with you, I was kind of like, this feels exactly like sugar and cream. But I haven't knit with sugar. Is this sugar and cream? That sounds weird. Whatever. You know, the like regular old dishcloth cotton you can buy at Michael's or whatever. But it was totally pleasant to knit with. I knit mine on US size 3s. And I think the suggested is like 5 to 7. But anything bigger than 3 looked crazy. So, but I'm a super glue knitter. What was I saying? Oh, but it does feel nice now that it's knit up, and it was pleasant to knit with. It didn't feel quite as I mean, in the ball, I was like, but it was not as rigid as the Lily is. As I recall, it's been a long time since I did that. So my leg is totally falling asleep, but if I move it, it's gonna like totally mess everything up. So I'm just gonna have to bear with it. Other things that I am knitting. Oh, I forgot to mention the buttons on my sweater, which are actually really totally rad. I dig them. I forgot to mention that. I did use the suggested 1-inch size. I thought maybe I would go up. Why am I even trying? This is a total fail. I thought maybe I would go up a size. There, that's better. I thought, because lots of times, like, you know, it's the same size sweater, whether I knit the sweater or like a size 32 knits the sweater. So sometimes I do like to go up a size on the buttons. The sweater calls for 1-inch buttons. So I got ones and 1 3/8 and 1 1/2 because, by the way, what is up with Joann's not having any buttons and them costing $1 million? What up? But I got them online from this lovely company called Supplies and Sundries. They had a very nice selection of buttons and quite a few wooden buttons that were very affordable. I think for 10 of the 1-inch buttons, you know what, I'm not even going to pretend I know, but it was like $4-ish, I think. They were very affordable, and they had enough selection that I was able to get all 3 of them from the same place, and then, of course, the shipping was not as much. But, you know, like, I just wanted plain. I didn't want anything crazy for this, so I got, like, that's the size, and then this is the 1 1/2 inch size, which is a lighter wood. So, because I was not sure. But I went with the 1-inch. I thought they looked cute, and there's quite a few buttons. There's 9 buttons on my size. I think the smaller sizes have 8. So, there's that, which I just remembered to say. What else do I have? I do have spinning, but I didn't bring it upstairs to show you. What else do I have to show you? Okay. Oh, gratitude, Cal. What's up? That's totally happening. I have been enjoying reading your gratitudenesses. I am knitting The Gills Rock by Paula Emmons Feasley. And mine is out of Quince & Company. Is it Finch? Is it Lark? It's the one you're supposed to use. How about that? It's the one you're supposed to use, which now I don't know what it is. Okay. But I am doing it, and it's in the Robin's Egg colorway. Sorry, I don't have the ball band. Okay, I have to totally pause the show for just a second. I'll be right back. Sorry. I had to unfold myself. And I apologize. I hope it does not make the rest of the show a little bit more wiggly than normal, because now I am technically touching the super fancy laundry basket upon which my computer-y, camera-y thing is located. Because I'm super high-tech, yo. So I apologize if it's seasicky. Take a boning, hush. So mine is the Gills Rock. There it is. Oh my gosh, this model, by the way, this model that Quince & Company has, it's doing this, is so flippin' gorgeous. I can't stand her face. Right. And it is with the Finch. See, I'm so sorry. That was all of that just to find that out. So you'll notice I'm not very far along. It takes 2 skeins. I'm not very far along, but that's because I've been trying to really go. I could have whipped this thing out, but again, I'm knitting mindfully, so I am trying to specifically pick quiet moments to knit mindfully in. So yay. If you're new to us, the Gratitude Cal is running through the end of April, and it's basically knit any wearable for yourself with mindfulness and gratitude in your heart. It's easy as that. And if you could just go over to the boards and put out what you're grateful for at that moment, if you think about it, that would be awesome too. Because sometimes you see something else that somebody else is grateful for, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't even think to be grateful for that. Thank you. Next work in progress. There's a lot of Quince & Company in this episode. It's just how it is. I don't know. I know that I totally watched Diane, and she had a crazy Quince & Company episode. And then I watched the little lovely Joanna Spring, and she had Quince & Company. I don't know what happened, because I ordered mine before I saw either of those. It was clear because the Quince & Company scarves came out, and like it was very pretty, and we all had to buy things. And then when you're there buying one thing, you might as well buy more than one. That's how they get you. So I'm totally not trying to be a copycat. Not that I wouldn't mind copying either of those beautiful ladies, but it's just, there's lots of Quince & Company. So I am knitting the Oak Ridge by Anna Sudo. And this is a pattern that was gifted to me by Sheep Dreamery. Thank you. And that's one of my other things. I'm trying to knit some of my gifted patterns for, this is not, I mean, it's not like I'm wintering for prizes, but again, just a lot of gratitude going on. So this is Quince & Company, also the same one as the other one, which is Lark, in the Snap Pea colorway, and this is how far I am. I'm knitting mine on size 1s. I don't know which ones they are. They're 1s. And there you go. Yay! Stitch markers from our lovely friends at Linger String. Thank you. So yeah. The cute little top. You knit it from the top down. It's slouchy. I think it'd be fun. It's only 1 skein. Yay! Oh, this is also my Slip Stitch Studios bag. And in fact, this bag is holding 2 projects. Because why not? I have so many project bags, and yet I have more projects than can hold them. Can be held by them. It's crazy. I know, right? Sorry. So this project is also knit of Quince & Company, but it is knit in their worsted. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. And it is the Boss Cat, which is by... It's by a person, and she knows how to knit. Ooh, and it's not on here. Oh, Robin Ulrich. And I am so original. Oh, and by the way, this is, thank you, Kristen. This is a gift, a pattern that was gifted to me by her. And I'm such an original human being that I'm literally knitting it in the yarn that is in the picture. I don't know what happened. But it's Quince & Company Lark, which is the worsted. Oh, and see, there's my little stitch marker in the wild. And this is the honey colorway. And by the way, I've really liked this pattern for a very long time. I just don't have any like simple yarn. You know what I mean? You need the simple yarn for this one. Because I don't know what it is about this stitch pattern. I love it. I am not even kidding you. I love this stitch pattern. And it is quite frankly perfect in this yarn. The Quince & Company is really round and very plump. I think it's a 3-ply for this one. Is it a 3 or a 4? It's a, I can't count the plays. 3. No, 4. No, 3. It's 4. I couldn't get them separated. It is very round and very plump, and it is just so cute. This is perfect for it. It's perfect. Could not think of any, I love a woolen spun yarn. Perfect in this worsted spun yarn. It's awesome sauce. So I could have really had this done about 7 times, but I could. It's such a treat. I had to parcel it out. It's like super candy knitting. It's the box of truffles knitting. And again, it's not like it's really super expensive or like high-end luxury. It is just wonderfully pleasant and a great gratitude project because it's simple yet beautiful. And this stitch pattern is not, okay, it's not that it's not, it is not complicated. It looks, right? Doesn't it look super complicated and like all tapestry-y and whatnot? It is really not complicated at all. And in the pattern, they actually have it taken. They took a picture of a scarf made with it. Here it is. And I totally want that stupid scarf back. It's so pretty. So I am digging it hardcore style. Digging it. This one does require 2. I'm so sorry. This one does require 2 skeins. And that is definite. I did already run out of the first skein, so I love it. And then, I know, right? There's so much. No wonder my husband was like, why are you carrying all this stuff upstairs? Because I'm crazy. Okay, the next thing I am knitting on. Did I bring the skein up? I'm so sorry if I'm jostling you a lot and not even noticing that I'm jostling you. I did. This is Peace Fleece in their newer color Marigold, which is, the reason I say it's newer is, well, it is. But the reason I differentiate is because their newer colors are 90% wool, 10% mohair, whereas their older colors, I think, were either 80-20 or 75-25. I can't remember. But this has much less mohair content than their older yarns if you've gotten their yarns before. And the reason I say that is because I like piece fleece a lot, but sometimes that mohair is a little bit much, especially if you have skin sensitivity issues. Like even if you wear it with like a t-shirt, some people call those t-shirts. If you wear it with a t-shirt, or even if you well, not so much with a woven shirt unless it's really open weave, but that mohair can kind of like work its way into the knit fabric, and it can kind of, it's a little scratchier, especially around your neck. Yeah, it's there for durability. It is nature's nylon. And so it has a great place in the world, but sometimes it's nice to have a little bit less of it. That's what I'm saying. So yes, this is Marigold colorway. And you see this colorway and you're like, maybe she's making a hat. Maybe she's making mittens. Maybe she's making a scarf. Maybe she's even making a shawl. Oh no, she's actually making a sweater with that color. Oh yes, she is. Full on making a sweater with that crazy orange. And by the way, this was not an accident. I literally have, as soon as I saw that color orange, I wanted a sweater made out of it. Have you noticed? I'm not a petite person. I'm a big lady. When a big lady wears a sweater this orange, I don't know what's going to happen, quite frankly. People will get out of my way, for one thing. They'll be like, that woman is insane, let's move away. They'll be like going to the other side of the street. I'm a big lady. Why do I feel like I have to knit a sweater out of this color in worsted bordering on Aran weight yarn? But I've wanted to make a sweater out of it as soon as I saw it. I don't know why, but I love that color. I can't stop it. I can't help it. And then, I don't know if you watch the Knit Girls. Do you watch the Knit Girls? Of course you watch the Knit Girls. Let's not be silly. But the Knit Girls, Leslie of the, why can I not pull my patterns up the right way? I don't know what's happening. But Leslie of the Knit Girls was all like, let's knit this sweater together. And I was all like, okay. And I was like, clearly it needs to be orange. Even though I have blue yarn in my home, which would completely work for this sweater and make it much more reasonable, clearly it should be orange. So do you remember when she showed it to you? I'll show it to you too, just in case. This is the watercourse, and I have no idea who it's by. I'm not going to look for it right now. So it's written as short sleeve or long sleeve, you can choose. And it has a hood. And it has a butt dart. Clearly it should be made of orange yarn for my size. Just imagine it though. Imagine it in orange. Clearly orange. So even though I had blue yarn in my house, which was like a nice denim color, I had to immediately order piece fleece in orange. There's my little stitch marker bubbling your string. Thank you. So basically I have little to nothing done on it. I just have that's an I-cord cast on and a little bit of a diagonal rib happening, and it's orange. Pattern suggests size US 8. I'm doing it on US 6s. I have not decided if I'm going to do short sleeve or long sleeve yet, or 3/4 sleeve, or thumbhole sleeve, or I can't decide. It may be determined by yarn. I have 9 skeins, but it's an Aran weight, so it's like 200 yards in these skeins, I think. So it may be short sleeves out of necessity, but we'll see. I don't know. Insane. So then I debated if I should even show you this one, but I'm going to because it's Stacks Thick Up Confessions time. So for some reason, I felt like I couldn't just have one sweater on the needles. Because I don't have that. I also have another sweater on the needles. I have the My like color work sport weight one, it's languishing. I'll get to it. It's languishing for now though. But clearly, not only did I need to knit a worsted weight orange sweater, but maybe I also needed to knit another one in case it's too warm to wear the worsted weight orange one when I go to the pipeline retreat. Maybe I need to hedge my bets because I went so far. I'm not even kidding you. I went so far as to look up the average annual temperature in Washington, Illinois for the time that I'm going to be at the pipeline retreat in an attempt to try to determine if I would need a worsted weight, perhaps short sleeve sweater, or in fact a sport weight 3/4 length sweater. And I couldn't decide which one I might need. So clearly Leslie was knitting the worsted weight one. I had to knit it with her. Plus the other one too. And I'm not going to get either one of them done. Crazy face. So I am knitting the Cara, which is by Cecily Glauick MacDonald, whose face I love. I don't know why. I love her stuff. I almost said a curse word, sorry. And in my trend of knitting things out of what they're supposed to be made from, this is actually written for, I think it's written for Quince & Company Chickadee, but I could be lying. It is still written for Chickadee, and that's what I'm making it out of. Except I'm not making it out of that very sensible neutral color. I'm making it out of snap pea. Really? Clearly. Can you tell it's time for spring? I'm like, let's have all the colors! So, this is how much I have so far. This one is knit, the other one, the orange one, is knit like it's a cardigan, as you saw. It's knit in one piece, so it's lots of, but it's Aran weight, so it's not as much pearl back. This one is written as a T shape, and now that I just held it up, I'm like, that seems like it's going to be a little big, even for my giant but we'll see. It's written as a T shape, so you start at the back hem, you go up to the arms, and you cast arm for the arms, and then you do the T, like the whole width of the arm, and then you cast off, and then do the fronts. I think that it says it's a T shape in the pattern description. So I like that's telling you too much, and you should probably know that before you decide if you want to knit one. I think I'm a little crazy for knitting this because I am super duper curvy, extra curvy sauce 5000, and the T-shaped sweater is really best for somebody who is not that style body, but I can't help it. Now the lace pattern is very stretchy. So that will help with my extra curviness and the basic non-shape of the sweater. I did cheat a little bit and put a little bit of shaping at basically right at the cast, right here, because my butt is just so much bigger than the rest of me. But, so I did cheat and add that in. Yeah. Crazy is what I do. So yeah. I don't know, is that all I need to tell you about? I'm sure this show is like 50 minutes long because I can't remember how much the first segment was before I had to move because my leg was so asleep I was dying. But I will show you a little bit of enabling. I will show you all the enabling because, again, I'm sure this episode is 57 years long. But I did want to show you that I made an order from Highland Handmaids. And I got her white spruce top, which is her superwash BFL, which I have spun with before, and it's highly enjoyable. I love superwash BFL, by the way. It's my favorite. I'm not even kidding you. I think it's my favorite. For knitting floofy stuff, it's my favorite. For spinning floofy stuff. So I got these two. This one is Sunstruck, and this one is Edge of the Inferno. And I felt like they needed to live together in my house. So my plan is to spin them both and do a 2-ply. And they are so fluffy. They'll make a very fluffy thing. So is that enough of me this week? Oh my gosh, right. So thank you for all of the well wishes. They were greatly appreciated. I am feeling much better. Yay! I'll totally see you next week. Bye.